A funnel has one job to do, and that's to move someone from curiosity to conviction. And what I mean by that is to a state of mind where they are free from doubt. People think funnels are pages, and technically, yes, but in reality, they're not. And for the funnel to do the one job, to move people, they must combine 5 key concepts into a whole, into the funnel journey. And we cover these 5 concepts over the next few videos. But first, I'd like to quickly just go over what these 5 concepts are. I've seen hundreds of funnels built by coaches and course creators, and they lay them out following the funnel templates. They spend hours creating the pages, they launch them, they maybe even invest in ads, and then not a lot happens. And here's why. And it's certainly not because you're not trying hard enough. As I mentioned before, your funnel has one job, and that's to move people. And you struggle because your funnel isn't designed to actually move people forward. So today, I'm going to show you the 5 very common problems that prevent funnels from actually doing their job. The first issue is about understanding your audience. And if you get this right, then everything else falls into place. And it's not just knowing who they are and their problems and their desires. It actually goes a lot deeper than that. And so when I say coaches don't really understand the audience, what I mean is understanding what they are thinking at every stage of your funnel. So, and this is really important to get your head around. Your buyers move through stages, and they move when the right trigger activates the right emotions. So that's triggers and emotions. So at the top of the funnel, you have awareness, which may lead to curiosity, but they also believe something. You know, I've tried this, it didn't work. The middle of the funnel, there may be interest and the beginnings of a shift in those beliefs. Maybe this could work. I could find some time to do this. And then at the bottom of the funnel, you've got desire and action. Yes, I do want to do this. So you need to know where they are in the funnel process and ensure your language and your words will shift them forward. If you don't know where they are or what they need at that stage, you're basically throwing content into the void. If you're not saying the right things, they don't know what to do next. They hesitate and your funnel leaks. So here's a simple funnel map, and you want to get them here to your checkout and to your checkout page and deliver them your product. But before you can get them there to your checkout page, you need to get them onto your sales page where you're providing information about your products and your services. And so at this point, they are more than curious. They sort of believe that what you are telling them will help them. And and so once they have that belief, then there's a good chance that they'll move through to the checkout form. Before that, you have your opt-in form, obviously, where they first entered your funnel. And to be able to opt in, they need to believe, again, that what you're offering at this point, and it's not the same as here, but it's a taste of what is happening over here. So they opt into your form. They get a thank you from you, which might give them a little bit more information. But more importantly, they actually come down and into your email sequence here. And this is where you nurture them. And you can use the email sequence to provide more information, to build trust, to answer any objections they might be thinking, and those sorts of things. But before they get into your opt-in page, you need to have messaging right here at the traffic source that will pique their interest and awareness for them to click, so that they actually end up on in your offer for your opt-in. So the second problem is messaging, and this is a double whammy. So often what I see is either the words are fluffy and vague and full of jargon, buzzwords, and fillers, as in this example here, and the example on the page is, it reads unlock your full potential. Well, what does that actually mean? Full potential for what? For being the best parent in the world, your full potential as an athlete, your full potential as a musician. It could be anything. And then it goes on to say how to unlock your full potential so that you can attract all your desires. So they're often, as I said, vague and fluffy, or they're misaligned. And that means your messaging doesn't lead the buyer naturally from one stage to the next. And when this happens, friction builds, doubt creeps in, and trust sort of seeps down through the cracks in the floor. And suddenly the opportunity disappears. And so here's what people miss. Words don't just describe, they move people forward. So in this example on the page here, we've got discover how to lose weight in any menopause stage. So what this immediately tells me is that this message is talking to women who are over 40 or premenopausal. It's weight loss because it's talking about how much weight you want to lose. So that's the problem, is overweight. And then it's leading people to the next step, which is to take the quiz. So people know what to do. They know who it's for. They know what the problem is. They know what the solution is. And that is a clear message. Third is design, and specifically the top of the page, the above the fold section. And many coaches try to be clever or artistic, and they throw fonts around, colours and images together, thinking it looks professional, but often it just looks messy, and it's confusing and distracting. This example here, we've got lots of different text above the fold. It's cramped. There's lots of different elements. So it's difficult for people to read. And this is important because you're above the fold area. It has 5 seconds to grab attention and explain what's happening. If that fails, the visitor doesn't scroll, doesn't click, and therefore doesn't convert. And here's another example of a clean, simple design that has impact and then leads straight into a VSL, explaining who it's for and what it delivers. There's no fluff, there's nothing clever about it. It's very straightforward, but the messaging is very clear. The fourth element is the offer, and this one is subtle but deadly. People don't realize an offer has multiple layers. There's the problem, the solution, the transformation, the promise, the bonuses, urgency, price, and the story, which is interwoven throughout the landing page, but must also be consolidated into one core message. And so I just having a look at this example here. The key elements in this offer are not the core elements of the offer, and it's difficult to read. The benefits are kind of all over the place, and it's really very unclear with a very weak call to action. And so here's what a consolidated offer might look like. And most coaches either skip some of these or they scatter them across the page. And the result is that the value isn't clear. The what's in it for me is weak, and buyers check out, literally. And finally, the urge to go straight to the sale. And this can work. In fact, I know some funnel builders actually encourage this strategy, but it's important to understand that only a small percentage of your audience is ready to buy immediately. It's around about 5%. And the rest need time to get to know you. And you do this through emails and content, and you start building trust. So if you skip the nurture and you're leaving sort of 80 to 90% of your leads on the table, and they drift away and the opportunity is lost. And that's why every funnel, I believe, needs a nurture stage to provide more information, address objections people might have, and to demonstrate expertise and to build trust. So those are the 5 mini strategies that, when fixed, can make a huge difference in your conversion rates and your return on investment. So just to quickly summarize, Know your audience and their journey and the triggers and emotions that will move them forward. Make sure your messaging is clear, minus the jargon and the fluffy words, and ensure each step is followed by the next step. Focus on the first 5 seconds when the page first loads, the headline, the description, the transformation, and the design. This needs to be dynamic and simple. And when it comes to the offer, people want to know what's in it for me. And that means being clear on the problem, the solution, the promise, guarantees, throw in some scarcity and urgency to encourage the fast movers, and have a benefit-driven call to action. If the offer isn't clear or complete, you lose people. And don't skip the nurture stage. Yes, some people will purchase straight away, but most won't for a range of different reasons. Keep talking with these people. Many will come back to your offer in their own time. So in the next video, we're going to map out the architecture of an optimized funnel and look at how every stage has a clear job to do and answers the buyer's questions at each stage. And once you fix these, you can fix these leaks for good.